I'd like to start off by asking a question. What makes the world go round? What drives the world? What turns on these lights that I'm standing under right now? Well, it's steam. No, not that steam. That steam. And you might be thinking, well, you're crazy. You're just some high school junior telling me that the white fluffy stuff that comes off a bowl of macaroni and cheese drives the world. But I'm telling you, I'm not crazy. This stuff is in everything we do. You might not see it, but it is. Steam is as ancient as a boiling pot of water, but it used to transform vast landscapes. It used to drive steam locomotives and steamships that had crossed unseen distances. And now it seems a vestige of bygone eras. But I feel as if it is in our best interest to make that notion go away. Steam, in its essence, is just water. Well, it's water in a gaseous form. But it's also an incredibly intricate dance of molecules, breaking their liquid bonds, trying to take up a larger space than they currently do. And that is an incredibly powerful force, something that most people can't comprehend. An incredible example of this is its use in nuclear power plants, where though the operating principle might seem complex, it's actually fairly simple. You have controlled nuclear fissions in a reactor, creating an immense amount of heat. That heat is used to boil water. That boiled water makes steam. The steam drives turbines and a generator. A couple hundred miles away from here, the Vogtle power plant just came online, generating 2 gigawatts of power. That's enough for almost the entire state, all of which revolves around steam. Steam is used as a medium that no other substance could fit, a role that is so incredibly difficult to achieve that there is only one thing that can and will ever be able to do it. It's steam. In the late 19th and early 20th century, there were steam cars. Steam cars were considered ultra-luxury cars. They were fast, they were silent, they didn't shake, they didn't pop, they didn't bang, they didn't backfire, they didn't do any of the obscene things that cars of the early 20th century did. They were ultra-luxury. They outcompeted the Rolls-Royces, the Bentleys, at the time, Cadillacs, and all the other assorted cars that you could buy for tens of thousands of dollars, which today doesn't seem that much for a car, but back then was like many houses. And these cars were seen as ultra-luxury because they skipped an entire step in power generation. You didn't have to, run the coal-burning power plant to run the oil pumps to then refine the oil to make the gas to run your car. Why not just use the steam that you already need? This car right here, this is a Doble E20. It was made by a man named Abner Doble. He was a genius. This car was released in 1922, and it only had 150 horsepower, which for reference is less than a Honda Civic. But it had 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. And most people don't particularly care about torque, but to put that in reference, that is 2 fully loaded Ford F-150s. That's a lot of power. It didn't have a transmission. It was easy to drive. You just hit the gas pedal and it went. It took about 30 seconds from the time you turned the key to have enough steam pressure that you could pull a house off its foundation. And where did this go? What happened to steam? Well, it fell into obscurity. For some reason, we decided to move on. Internal combustion took over and we no longer needed steam. Well, I hope we can change that today. Steam and generating steam, because you don't need to have an explosion to do so, unlike cars, it can actually become pretty clean and efficient. You can burn any type of fuel from wood to biodiesel, biogasoline, even hydrogen, of which something we'll explore later. The ability to burn cleaner fuels in a more efficient environment means that steam cars can generate more power more efficiently in a quicker time. The environment is something that we need to worry about. It's slowly been degrading over the past 100 years, a lot of which is due to internal combustion. And while electric cars have come onto the scene recently, they have many downsides. People with older electric cars are having problems with range, having to source new batteries, which are expensive and very difficult to make. Plus the fact that manufacturing electric cars is extremely environmentally intensive. Mining nickel and cobalt, they're both very difficult processes which use hard labor and lots of CO2. Something that we just don't have the room for anymore. So what if? What if we made steam cars? What if we brought them back? Cars that are easiest to produce as a, normal gas car, could be refilled like a gas car. You go to a gas pump, you put any kind of fuel in, diesel, gas, whatever's available. If you really want to be environmentally friendly, burn hydrogen. The only byproduct of burning hydrogen is water. You could feed that back into the system and make steam with it. A closed circuit car, it has absolutely no emission. Think about that. Think of a world of people puffing down the road with just little puffs of steam coming out of their car. A steam whistle, it would be amazing. All of which with no emissions. And all of the creature comforts of electric cars. Silence, instant torque, no transmissions, none of that. Think of that world. Now, I've been rambling on to you for a while now about steam and its uses and why it's so good. But why? Yes, it's to bring the spark of creativity that one of us is going to need to bring back steam. But there's a greater theme here. There's an overarching theme. And that is sometimes we have to accept the fact that there is greatness staring at us from the rearview mirror. We cannot be afraid to look back sometimes and take inspiration from those who came before us. As I started this admittedly short talk, I'd like to end it with a question. Which one of you is going to be the one to step up, to bring us into a brighter, cleaner, happier future? One where a myriad of old and new technologies come together to make a beautiful collage of the best mankind has to offer, not just the newest. I charge all of you, don't be afraid to look back. Sometimes the past just might hold the answer. Thank you.